Good morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. And we're having coffee today and with my Braveheart mug because I love it. One of the things I love about it, see, it says Brave. There's a good picture, is the shape, the feel, and the handle. I mean, there's a lot I love about it. But we have had to exercise some pretty Braveheart stuff over the last several weeks with the energies coming in, with the shifting, with all the planetary and earth tumultuous, chaotic energy. Fear has been just implanted on us as much as they can do to us, those powers that were. And we've had to endure a fair amount just to keep holding our space and holding the higher vibration and holding on to what we know is true, which is the good is going to win. The good is winning. It's just not looking like that yet. Again, that third stage of the birth process, which is the hardest, is what we are entering into. And so these cards this morning on this Monday that I was thinking earlier, me who doesn't work a regular job now, was going, this feels like a Monday. This feels kind of like I don't really want to do much. Had a wonderful weekend, had a particularly lovely weekend with my husband. We finished recovering the car seats on my convertible, which is my happy place. It's a 17-year-old car, and we had the original covers that came on because I had leather put on when we got it because I was living in it basically, and wanted to be able to wipe the seats if I spilled something. So anyway, we had the original covers, so now it looks like a new car. We completed that. And then yesterday I did a drum circle. Well, I did a drum circle, but we did a drum making project together with five other women. It was amazing, except that the cord that I ordered was just not strong enough. And so now we are likely going to have to restring, which is okay. But I kept working against the feeling of failure and disappointment as I was working through this. The women, there was no judgment on me, nothing put on me, but boy, I had to keep going. This is okay. It is what it is right now. We just are having a good time. The energy we shared was incredible. Then we did some drumming together, and just a very fun group. Some I knew better than others, and that's always fun, is getting to know new people in our tribes that we get to play with and interact and get to know better. So after feeling like a Monday, this reading is so high vibe and positive in projection for the forward movement. The overarching card is the 8 of Pens, which in this deck correlates to the 8 of Wands, that intellectual stuff. The Wands often have to do with, no, it's the Swords. Let me think. Now I have to look. I knew it. It is the Swords. Depends. Yeah, Swords. Now I'm going to have to backtrack a bit. It is still a very high vibe reading. A lot of interesting energies. The 8 of Swords. Okay, I totally had this wrong in my thinking. So now I'm going to check in real quick because I think the message is far more what I had understood. The 8 of Swords has to do with how things have been for us, the calamities, the catastrophes, the everything that which is what I started out saying, even thinking that this was a different reading. So the 8 of Swords is about the chaos, the craziness. Good morning, Sherry Wiltsey. The calamities that are going on around the world, the upheaval, the people in the streets and our universities protesting, and all the upheaval. That is what has been. And the second card, so that's kind of like, this is the information about that that kind of energy that we've been living in. And then we've got so much um, of the propagation of more of that by the media, the powers that were, that want to keep us divided, want to keep us at one another's throat, and want to keep our country and want to keep our world in upheaval and unsettledness. That really is that master plan, because if they can keep us in fear and unsettled energy and chaos, they can control us easier. It's harder for us to come together in those energies. So we, the light workers, the way showers, need to be working regularly to keep our energies high. So this is what has been. The next card that came up was the world. And the world is that very high vibe card that basically says you have come to a completion now of your energy, the work, the stuff that has been going on. We are at the completion point of this. And so we want to hold on to that because, again, timelines for us are very short compared to eons. And so we want things, 5 minutes from now, or yesterday's even better. And so knowing that this is, the world is your oyster, you really can go anywhere from here because you have completed the really deep work that needed to be done to take us out of this chaotic energy, this upheaval, and keep bringing people into the higher vibratory energy that we are intending to hold as often as possible, as much as possible. We are human and we become very affected by these outside energies too. So us attending to our energies on a regular basis is a very helpful thing. And the next card is the Chariot, also a very high vibe card. You can see those two dragon, which equivalent to the horses, and they're different colors because they're the different sides of us. And this again is, you've completed with the world, you've completed some of the mastery. Now you want to hold yourself in this forward movement in balance, keeping those energies in balance within you, working regularly to find the balance in all the situations and to be the balance. Us, again, tending to our own energy is incredibly powerful in the big scheme of things because we are continually sharing that energy. We want, this is really a regular quest for me. It's just, there we go. Chariot. I'm not sure. I guess it's because the lights are shining so bright. But the Chariot is very much about balancing these things that you have learned and come into in your life, in your journey. Balance, balance, balance. And then the next card that came up was the Nine of Swords again. And this was, the six came up first. Then the nine, turns out it was, stuck. So I brought it on. The Six of Swords, again, look at the balance there. High vibe, going upwards with that beautiful owl. This is the transparent owl deck, which is, you can see up top and below, is full of symbolism, most of which I don't understand, but I am reading the energies of the cards, and you can see again, there's balance, balance, balance in this, and an ascension energy. So let's look at the Six of Swords. Things begin to change. It indicates a journey. And with the completion card that we've got on hand with that world, it is like, now, we've been working on us. Are we perfect? No. Are we done? No. There is no done. Just like there is no end to the destination. When I get there, then I can be happy. When I obtain this, then I'll feel better. There is no there or then or this. It is always now. And so us attending now to our energies is helpful, because now that we've done a completion of a lot of the work we have been working on, we are now on a new journey. We are now rising into the next thing that we get to work with, that we get to resonate with and create more of in our life. There are days, and I think that's kind of what this was about. I really, the drum making thing was not a failure because it was an incredible day. And the drums, sound good. Mine still, I had a very thick hide. I've never done one of those because this is all of 2 drums that I've done. But at any rate, it's still not dry. But there is that, when I woke up this morning, the heaviness of, I felt like a failure because the cording that I got was just too small, or it was too dry when we, anyway, it was kind of a fiasco. And I know I'm going to have to restring my drum. And we've talked about that. But that lingering failure energy wasn't perfect, Victoria. You didn't do it right. Yeah, you should have done this differently. Yeah, this is all your responsibility. You should have. And I decided to just jump when one of the gal who hosted it, said, "Oh, I want to make a drum." And I said, "Well, my husband and I just did, so I can help you with that." And then we had a group. And so again, it was a lovely day, but boy, that inner critic was strong. And we want to just have her step aside. Thank you. I hear you. This is old programming, probably from my childhood, past lives, ancestral energy. But I choose to move forward with joy. I choose to move forward in peace and in power and higher vibration. That is that continual new, what we want to renew daily, because again, that is what we are sharing. Whatever happens, you are slowly moving out of the more difficult that we've been working on, and a proposal of new things. If the travel is and possibly travel, a journey whose destination is uncertain. And of course, that is our life. The journey we have been on is this life. And this 6 of swords, 6 of pens, and this card very much is saying, it's always going to be an uncertain thing. And that is really, I think, as humans, the hardest thing for us to live in. And yet it is the constant change and uncertainty, because we are always looking to the future or focusing on the past, which is where my energy was this morning, in the past, and wishing that it had been different. Again, there is no bad in all of what happened yesterday, except as to how I was processing it. So self-forgiveness, self-healing, self-love, do a daily energy routine, clear yourself. And then the 9 of pens is the last card. I just love these cards. But again, I have to look these up because I don't read tarot and there's so much symbolism. But we're going to look in this book. The swords, 9 of swords. Oh, this was stuck to the 8. And so I'm not actually, it does not feel at all coherent in this message. So I'm not going to include this because it's a very, very dire, not high vibe message, and everything else, even though some of them were less than high vibe, they pointed to the fact that our change is where we want to take it. We want to hold that vibration of the higher frequency because we have completed mastery. We have done the work. We are moving on now. And we want to hold the higher vibration to be bringing in really just greater ease in the moving forward process to our next opportunity to unfold, expand, learn, and do some changing. Again, change is constant in our life, and yet we rail against it in so many ways. So what is it you have been railing against? You want to start embracing it, step into that need for change, and know that everything new, you've completed the mastery. You are on your way to a much higher vibe place than you have been. And that call to us again, we are the holders of light. We are sharing our energy. We want to maintain a higher frequency as much as possible, which means we attend to our energy, that daily energy routine that I've done a couple times on my YouTube channel to help people get into a routine of that, balancing your own energy on a regular basis. And then basically, who can I serve today? I'm open, willing, ready, guide me. What do I need to know? And how can I serve more fully? And where is the growth that I need to move forward with into my next destination? It's interesting how that one card showed up. It was stuck to the 8. And I went, well, okay, we'll pull that. But everything in the message was so opposite that it became clear that it was just stuck to the 8. It wasn't really meant to be in this message, because this is a very forward moving with positive expectations. That is going to be the challenge to us to maintain as the world gets weirder, as the darkness is clinging to the edges, because more light workers are waking up every day, that we are the holders of the light. We are the ones creating the change that this world needs. And it is by us holding our light and holding it in a higher frequency so that it can be seen and felt by more people. That is the goal in all of this. So I think we are complete for this Monday. These beautiful, I forgot to tell you, yesterday when we were at the drum circle, these folks have beehives, and all of the sudden Mary went, Ken, the bees are swarming. And then another hive swarmed at the same time. So there were swarms of bees on the side of their fire pit, a big swarm of bees. And then one lit in the tree in the corner. And then we watched her husband. They had 2 empty hives waiting. We watched her husband harvest them into, and her daughter, into the hives. And I was filming it. And then when it became time, when he took them down into the hive, because then we had to get away, I took off running before we actually saw the hive go in. But it was very fun because they didn't get quite all the bees at the first time. So they settled again, and he went and got the rest. And then you just watch them all go in the hive, because they had created a new queen and they were all following her. And then he did the same. He moved the ones off the side of the fire pit. And there were still quite a few, but he must have gotten the queen in the first move, because then they all went inside. So 2 bee swarms in one day, having never actually seen one in person. Our bees in the hive we have in our tree swarmed twice last year, but they didn't, that I ever saw, they didn't ever swarm together. They swarmed in the trees and then they left. So they went somewhere else to form that swarm. So a very interesting day, very high vibe. And I want you to hold on to that going into this week, regardless of what happens in the news. It is us holding our vibration that is going to help the world move into regularly a higher vibration and hold that. So I think we are complete for this Monday morning message. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. And one other thing, I'm doing readings now on Monday nights on my Instagram channel. It'll be at 6:30. I'll be doing a general reading and then personal card readings for whoever would like one. They are not free, but I'll post the link here. You can go to that link and get 15% off. They're inexpensive anyway, but you can save 15% and I will read a card specifically for you. So it'll be on Instagram, but you need to go to the link for the event in order to get the 15% discount. So please join me. I'm going to be doing these regularly as much as I can on the Monday nights. Summer gets a little interesting because we do a lot of camping, and that for me is like the high vibe place. So please join me, spread the word. I love to do readings. They're something that they're fun and they're so helpful because they are channeled with the wisdom that I've been gifted with. So tell your friends and family. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. Until we meet again.